Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So I'm going through my emails this morning and I get one that says you have to watch this video. So I'm going to go ahead and play a few seconds of the video, and I'm also going to leave the link to this original video on a pinned comment so that you can go and revisit it. And please go ahead and support this creator. She did a great job by finding this out, and this is something that everyone needs to know. Not only everyone here in the United States of America, but in Canada and Mexico as well.
Did you know that the United States of America as you know it no longer exists? And I don't mean this theoretically. I mean this as in on January 10th, 2023, while no one was paying attention, Joe Biden signed away our sovereignty as a nation when he met with President of Mexico, Manuel Lopez Obrador, and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in Mexico City to sign the Declaration of North America. You can find the release on the White House website, wh.gov, which ironically right now has a photo on the front page of these three individuals I just mentioned. I'm sure once this goes out to the masses, they will reconsider being so obvious and bragging about what they've done.
So I went ahead and I did what I like to do, ladies and gentlemen, do a little bit of research. And the link that she provided landed me here. And this is from the White House, and it's the Declaration of North America, which pretty much joins North America, Canada, and Mexico when it comes to decision making. Now, I'm not sure about you or what you think, but I believe that the decisions that each country makes should be decisions that are going to benefit their citizens directly. Not an entire region. We are not the North American country. We are the United States of America. Canada is not the North American country. It is Canada. Mexico is not the North American country. It is Mexico. But I digress. I went through this entire thing and I highlighted the portions that I feel are important talking about. And you have to listen to this. And I encourage you to share this. If you don't want to share this video, that's fine. But at least share this link with everyone that you know who cares about their country, who wants to be sovereign, who wants to be free, ladies and gentlemen, without having these pundits, these pieces of crap that supposedly run our country, running it to the ground and not caring about their citizens, their constituents, the people that they're supposed to care about first and foremost. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it right now. America first. I am American, and it's America first for me. No one else. And if you're Canadian, it should be Canada first for you. No one else. First, take care of your house. And then if you can, take care of someone else's and help someone else out. Man, I really got excited there, but I mean it. I mean what I just said. These people that we have in government, the majority I would say are puppets. They are puppets that don't give a damn about who you are. It just gets me really frustrated to see what's happening to our country and our world. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why I always say prepare, because these pieces of crap that are sitting on Capitol Hill, most of them, yes, I know some of them are really good. I understand that, but most of them are no good. Most of them could care less whether you go hungry. Let me go ahead and take a quick minute to talk about this. So I don't believe in entitlements. I don't believe that the government should be giving anyone anything at all, because something that they give to you, they take from someone else. However, we do know, and I'm sure that you would agree, that there are some people that just can't help themselves. And I always believe that family, church, community, right? Then at the worst case scenario, state and federal. Worst case scenario, but it shouldn't even be state and federal. It should be family, church, community. First and foremost, that's how we take care of each other. SNAP benefits are going to end here pretty soon for a lot of people that are vulnerable, are elderly, are disabled. I'm not saying that SNAP benefits shouldn't end. I just stated that I don't believe that anyone should be taking anything from the government because they're taking it from someone else. But what I'm saying is this. I'm saying that if you know someone that's elderly, who can't afford food, if you know someone that's disabled that can't afford food, if you have a neighbor that can't afford food, and they were getting some of these entitlements, I think I call it benefits, but they're really entitlements. They're not benefits. If you know that they need help and you can help them, that is what we do for our neighbors. That is what we do for our family. So if you know people that are going to be in extra need because they lose these entitlements, and you can help them, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we win this, is by sticking together and being prepared. Let me stop and let me go back to the Declaration of North America. Here it says that the leaders are determined. And when they say the leaders, they mean President Joe Biden, Prime Minister Trudeau, and I don't remember the name of the president of Mexico. Let me see if it says it right here. Mr. Andreas Manuel Lopez Obrador. All right, so that's when they say the leaders, which in my opinion they're not leaders at all. Anyways, the leaders are determined to fortify our region's security, prosperity, sustainability, and inclusiveness through commitments across 6 pillars. And these 6 pillars are, imagine that, the first pillar, all right, the first pillar, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we're going to get to that here in the bottom. The second one, climate change and the environment, competitiveness, migration and development, health, and number 6, regional security. So let's go ahead and start off with diversity, equity, and inclusion. We focus on providing marginalized communities opportunities for their full, equal, and meaningful participation in our democracies and economies. I thought that the government is supposed to be there for everyone, not just one group of people. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and these are decisions that are going to be made trilaterally, meaning that these 3 clowns are going to get together and say, yeah, this is the best for our region, not for our country. That's why I've often said, your vote does not count. Your vote does not count, and that's why you have to be prepared. Because one day, ladies and gentlemen, one day the people will have had enough. All right, one day the people will have had enough. The government is not supposed to be there for the minority. The government is supposed to be there for everyone. For everyone. By doing what? First and foremost, protecting your God-given rights. Let's see, they said that they're going to have a commitment to protect civil rights, promote racial justice, expand protections for the whatever LGBTQI plus individuals, and deliver more. Listen to this, deliver more equitable outcomes to all. How in the world can you deliver equitable outcomes to all? And this is where I know that this video is going to be a little bit long, because I'm going to tell you a story now. There's no such thing. Get your heads out of your asses if you think that there is such a thing as equitable outcome. Yes, there is equality and opportunity, and that we have here in these United States. We have equality and opportunity. I'm sure every one of you knows someone that made it from the bottom and now they're sitting on top. There's plenty of examples from all races across the board. There's no such thing as equitable outcome. And this is the story. I grew up in a house of 5 children, me being one of them and 4 of my siblings. I had a mother, I had a father that I grew up with. All right. My father worked a lot. I didn't get to know my father till after he retired, because most of the time he was working. My mom was taking care of the house and looking after her children, making sure that they grew up with morals. That they grew up with morals. That they had a work ethic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best things that a father can do, or the head of the household can do, is go to work so that their children can see, hey, you have to work in order to make a living, not just stay home. But anyways, I digress. So we all grew up in the same household, under the same conditions. We were not rich, but we always had food. We always had clothes, and our house was warm. Sometimes the thermostat had to get brought down a little bit, because sometimes we're tough, but we all made it. All right. I am the youngest of 5. My oldest brother went on to become a pharmacist. My second oldest brother went on to become an engineer. My third oldest brother went on to become a mechanic. My sister works part-time at a school, and her husband does very well, and she has a very good life. Me, I am very satisfied where I ended in life. But this is where it comes as far as equal opportunity, which we all had. We all had equal opportunity. We all grew up in the same house. We all grew up in the same neighborhood under the same conditions. My oldest brother is a pharmacist, great profession. My second oldest brother is an engineer. He is a millionaire. My third oldest brother is a mechanic in Ohio. He has a decent life, but he has to work very hard. My sister has a great life. I have a great life. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even 100,000-aire, but I have a great life. We all had different outcomes. We all had different outcomes. We are all in different parts of the socioeconomic ladder. So this equal equity crap is crap. You are not owed anything. The only thing you are owed is what you owe yourself. You make of your life what you make of your life. The three countries also reaffirm our commitment to gender equality and empowerment of women and girls. What about everyone else? What about everyone else? In all their diversity, by aiming to improve financial and political support for women's and girls' rights. What about everyone else? This country is not of one, it's of all of us. All right, let's go to climate change and environment. I'll try to stay a little calmer on this one. They are going to tackle the climate crisis and respond to its consequences. This includes achieving our respective 2030 full stop. I thought that this 2030 stuff was conspiracy. Isn't that what people have been saying? All these pundits have been saying all these years. Oh, that's just a conspiracy. Well, I guess it's not. So anyways, this includes achieving our respective 2030 nationally determined contributions under the Paris Agreement. Again, bending to an entity that is not within the United States government, that was never elected to power. And working together with other countries to keep the 1.5 degree Celsius temperature within reach. Bull butter. If you're still in with this climate stuff that you are destroying the earth by driving a vehicle, by breathing, then you still have your head in the sand, and you need to get one of your buddies to get a shovel so that you can breathe again. Because that's exactly what they're going to do. That's exactly their plan. One day, if we continue down this road, there will be monitors in your homes. All right, there will be monitors gauging how much CO2 is in your home so that you can be taxed for it, so that you can be billed for breathing out, for exhaling, for just living. Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up. Is this really the kind of world that you want your children to live in? A world where every single thing that you do is governed by someone who does not care about you. Continuing on, to promote buy-in for ambitious cuts to emissions, we will come together to align approaches on estimating the social cost, we'll come back to that, of greenhouse gas emissions. What is the social cost? Remember that little part where I told you that you're going to be paying taxes, or you're going to be getting a monthly bill on how much carbon dioxide is in your home, on how much you exhale? That's what that means, ladies and gentlemen. Not social cost, meaning that you are disenfranchised. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's how much we're going to be paying for what they tell us they want us to pay for how much CO2 we produce. When CO2 only makes up 0.04% of all of the gases in the atmosphere. And some people are stupid enough to think that this is a good thing. Carrying on, we will move swiftly to accelerate the energy transition by deploying clean energy solutions, increasing the production and adoption of zero-emission vehicles. Absolutely false. That is an absolute lie. An electric vehicle is not a zero-emission vehicle by any means whatsoever. If you have an electric car, that's great. I think electric cars are actually pretty cool. They're almost like race cars. They can go so fast in such a short span in time. But that emission is not zero emission. Where do you think you get your electricity from? Why do you think that your electricity rates have gone up lately? It's because the cost of fuel has gone up. And fuel is what is used to make electricity. I guarantee you there ain't enough solar panels in the world, and there will never, ever be enough solar panels in the world to power our lives the way that they are powered now. Means what? It means that the less energy that there is in the world, the less people there'll be in the world, because you are a big clump of energy. So when they shut down all of these fossil fuels, i.e. energy, when they shut all of these things down, you will notice that there will be a reduction of food, and you will notice that there will be a reduction of people on Earth. It's their goal, isn't it? Oh, no, sorry. That's a conspiracy theory also. Doing our part to conserve 30% of the world's land and waters by 2030. This is very interesting. You see, the average person, when they read this, they'll read this and say, what, 30% of the world's land and waters by 2030? You have to understand what that means. And I'm going to use only the United States of America. 30% of the land and waters in the United States of America. Let me give you a picture as to what it is that means. Right now in the United States, there are 423 national parks. Meaning what? Meaning that you can't build stuff on it. It's pretty much governed by the government. They say what you can and can't do in there. So you can't do anything in it. They're just letting them grow wild pretty much, right? 84 million acres. That sounds like an awful lot. But how many acres are there in the United States, just in the lower 48? Just in the continental United States? How many acres are there? Because 84 million is a big number. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in the United States, there's about 1.9 billion acres of land, and they want to control 30% of that. So by 2030, they want to control 10 times more acreage than what they already have under their control via national parks. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Under competitiveness, we will also consider trilateral approaches to promote sustainable, inclusive jobs and develop the workforce to meet our climate commitments. Why does it have to be trilateral approaches? We are one country. We are the United States of America. We are not the Northern Americas or the North Americas. We are the United States of America. And for Canadians, you are Canada. And for Mexico, you are Mexicans. Why does this have to be trilateral? Shouldn't it be what benefits your nation first, Mr. President? Now listen to this one, migration and development. Since June, Mexico, the United States, and Canada have collectively welcomed record numbers of migrants and refugees from the Western Hemisphere under new and expandable labor and humanitarian programs. Today, we affirm our joint commitment to safe, orderly, and humane migration under the Los Angeles Declaration. Well, what is the Los Angeles Declaration? Well, let's go take a look. This is the Los Angeles Declaration on Migration and Protection. And it says here, we, the heads of the state of government of the Argentine Republic, Barbados, and then it has a whole bunch of other countries here. And I'm not going to read them. You can read them for yourselves. Let's see. And hemispheric efforts to create the conditions for safe, orderly, humane, and regular migration, and to strengthen frameworks for international protection and cooperation. That's what this is. It's about migration. But listen to this. This is the only part of this that I highlighted. I will leave the link to this as well with the other links on a pinned comment. We are committed to protecting the safety and dignity of all migrants, refugees, asylum seekers, and stateless persons, regardless of their migratory status, meaning that they can cross that imaginary line whether they're coming in here legally or not. But AP, you're an immigrant? You're an immigrant to the United States? Yes, I am. And it took my parents 3 years to do the paperwork so that I can come here legally. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you want me to tell you a story? I'll tell you a quick story. I was born in the Dominican Republic, 1971. My mom and dad immigrated to the United States of America in 1965. They had me in Dominican Republic because they wanted me to have Dominican citizenship, right? But on the way back, to come back to the United States of America, they didn't know that they couldn't bring me along because they were just legal residents. They were not citizens. So that did not consider me a United States citizen. I had to stay in the Dominican Republic for the first 3 years of my life. And that's how long it took my parents to do the paperwork so that I can come here legally. So yes, I am an immigrant, and I thank God that my parents made the decision to come to this great nation. The greatest nation on the face of the earth, ladies and gentlemen. And it's being destroyed by these pieces of crap that pretend that they care about you when they don't. Ask yourself, if you're going along just to get along with these pieces of crap that sit up atop of Capitol Hill, what have they done for you? What have they done for you in the last several years and your whole life? What have they done to you to make sure that your life is better? Giving you free stuff? Do you really think that giving you free stuff has made your life better? If you are a recipient of free stuff? No, it's made you a slave. It has put you in need for them to steal from others to give to you. That's what it's done. And I could care less how many of you unsubscribe because you don't think that's the truth when it is the truth. They've done absolutely nothing for you, nothing for anyone. Everything I've ever done for myself, I've done for myself. I've never taken from anyone else. What makes anyone think that they can vote in a government so that they can steal from someone else so that they can give it to you? How would you like it if somebody came into your domicile and stole from you just to give it to someone else? They are not Robin Hood. They are thieves, they are criminals, and they will take you with them. Because eventually, ladies and gentlemen, good will win over evil. Good always wins over evil. It's just how much suffering do you want before that time comes? There will come a time where good will once again prevail. And on which side do you want to be on? Regional security. Security cooperation will continue to abide by our common understanding that respect for human rights and you know what? The rule of law, they say. And I put down the rule of law in red. You know why? Because they should be disgusted at themselves for even putting this word down. The rule of law? What rule of law? Who follows the rule of law? And the rule of law to contribute to a more secure North America. If you are a Canadian, if you're a U.S. citizen, if you're a Mexican, you should be disgusted at this. That your government wants to do this for North America. It should be for you first. For you, for your country first. No one else's. Our security cooperations include actions to disrupt criminal actors and associated crimes across our shared borders, including money laundering, child exploitation, firearms, and human trafficking. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is their way of using projection. Because everything that I just mentioned here is what governments do best. Having said that, I'm going to go ahead and get off right now. I'm going to leave the links to everything. I hope you got something out of this. We are under attack, and we've been under attack for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following my channel for any period of time, I would hope that you know by now that I love my country and I love humanity. And yes, the people in all of North America are all humans. However, we need to take care of our house first. First and foremost, we need to stop giving away our riches. What riches are we giving away? The only thing that we're giving away, ladies and gentlemen, that the government gives away when they send $40 billion here, $50 billion there, all that kind of stuff. The only thing they're giving away is you. They're giving away your time and your labor, because all of this money that they collect in order to do all of the things that they do, be it good or bad, came from you. You are the person. It is your labor that backs up the US dollar. Because without you working and earning an income that they can tax, they could never pay the interest on the enormous debt that the nation has accrued over the past several decades. They could never do it. It is you that they're stealing from. How can you not understand that? That your life is being stolen. On average, any person that works, even if you don't pay taxes, you are still taxed on a daily basis, because inflation and regulations and policies that help big corporations is a tax directly on you. So even if you don't pay taxes because you're under a certain bracket, it is your time and your life that they are stealing from you. But we're going to sit here and we're going to take it. You know why? Because most Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And they can't wait till that next handout. So they don't care what the government does on their behalf, as long as they can get that next handout. Unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be. So you better get prepared. Because if you're not getting prepared, you will suffer more than those who are already prepared. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.